Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's Tuesday night, February 8th, 2022. It's just a little after 6:30 p.m. and you have found yourself at the Sports Attic. We're coming live all over the place, wherever you want to watch it. YouTube, Twitter. You want to watch us on Facebook Live? Please do. And of course on Twitch at twitch.com/sportsattic. That's where you can find Live at the Sports Attic with Larcher and Lawrenson from Chicago, Illinois. We've got a very special show tonight.
It's a great show.
A great guest. Yeah, dude. Sure. My name's Clark Lawrenson at Clark in Chicago on Twitter. You can find the show at Larcher Lawrenson on Twitter. And you can find my partner at Larcher in Life on Twitter. He is the one and only Alfred Ferdinand Larcher III. And I'm handing it over to you, pal.
Well, thank you, Clark Lawrenson. It's another beautiful day in the city of wind. The cool has kind of left a little. It's kind of a normal night here in the winter after months and months of cruelty and blizzards and sub-zero temperatures. We are back to normal, and we have a special guest coming on tonight. I'm very excited about that. I have not been this excited since I interviewed Bobby Eaton or Merle Haggard. Gringo Loco's up there with those three guys. Two guys.
Yeah. That is something else. And it's been a few years in the making to have Gringo Loco on our show. But that's been a couple of years since you got to interview the late, great Bobby Heenan, of course. I'm excited. It's been a long time coming. And he is, what did you tell me the other night, Al? He's running hot right now.
He's on fire. El Fuego, my friend. He is blazing sails. You know, I've seen a lot of wrestling in my life. I've been all over the world watching it. I trained for a short while. I've taken a few bumps. I think I know the business pretty well. And, you see a lot of bad wrestling. You see a lot of guys who just don't have it. And that's not the case with your friend Gringo Loco. So, this is a guy he's traveled the world. He studied the art of wrestling in Mexico. And he learned the craft there, and he cultivated, and he went out there, and he worked the indies, and he trained, and he got better. And right now the dude's at his peak, and he's in a promotion that's probably the third largest in the world right now, not in the world, but in the United States. After Ring of Honor kind of took a hiatus, Game Changer Wrestling, GCW, has kind of stepped up. A lot of people compare it to what ECW was in the 90s. So it's kind of like, WWF is WWF, WCW is AEW, and GCW is ECW. And he's a part of that. And he's all the buzz there right now. He's all the rage. The great Thunder Rosa, who's one of the best female wrestlers out there right now. She tweeted, how crazy this guy is, how good he is. And I look forward to speaking with him.
Yeah. There he is. There he is on the right there on your screens if you're watching. Gringo Loco and we go way back, Al, but I believe you've seen him more often than I have live.
Well, of course, yes. I know Gringo Loco. You know the man behind Gringo Loco, you see?
Absolutely. He and I go way back 10, 15 years ago. And there, of course, is the doll that you picked up at one of his shows. The figure.
There you go. Doll. My father used to do that with my dad used to do that. My dad used to do that with the G.I. Joes. Like I'd have fucking G.I. Joes, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're playing with your dolls?
They're action figures, Dad." No, but that isn't an action figure. What do you call it?
It's a plush.
It's a plush. So it's a plush, but a plush what?
A plush Gringo Loco.
There it is. So he's going to join us shortly on the show tonight. He
had
a hell of a weekend with GCW, from what I understand. He spent some time in MLW as well. And back in the day,
Major League Wrestling,
in our first life, and I'll ask him about it later. But quite a bit of time, of course. Gringo Loco. He's a luchador, an American-born luchador. He spent a lot of time in Mexico training. So we're going to have a lot of. There's just a ton to touch with him, but what else is up in the world of sports with you right now? We can talk about
Well,
anything you want.
Houston could possibly be one of the worst franchise. Like we crap on the Bears, but the Houston Texans. And I did. Is it official? Is Lovie Smith their head coach?
Lovie
Because last
Smith,
week you told me it was official. Jim Harbaugh was coaching the Minnesota Vikings, and it
man,
turns out it was all rumors and innuendo. Clark lied to all of us.
dude,
Very
everybody
disappointed with that.
everybody lied on that one. Jim Harbaugh was the coach of Minnesota. I mean,
You bought right into his hands, Clark.
He went to interview on National Signing Day. I don't know if you've seen it, but people are pissed. His coordinator left. There's some ball players that are kind of pissed at him for leaving to go interview on National Signing Day. Like he must have been serious about it at least to go for a second interview on in college football. That's a huge day for a program.
Well, it's a horrible, Michigan's just not good. So, well, thank God the Minnesota Vikings didn't get him. I mean, I think that's a good thing. So that's a score for the Bears. So things are looking up in Beardom. The Pro Bowl, did the Pro Bowl happen or did they cancel that?
It did happen. And I only know that because DraftKings Sportsbook had a special on the over. The over was 62.5. I checked the score at halftime. I felt pretty good. They gave you a plus 130. It was their, bet on this. If you bet the over, they'll give you a plus 130 just for fun. I did it, put $10 down, a little more than double my money there. It was great because they did go over when I checked the final score.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I didn't, only true, degenerates gamble on the Pro Bowl. So congratulations, Clark. You can not only won a trophy this year from me, you've also stepped up your game. It's not a doll, okay? It is not a goddamn doll. It's a plush. And I know an action figure is an action figure. It's a plush.
It's a plush doll. It's fine. I mean, we'll let Gringo Loco answer that. Is who we're going to.
Fine. We'll see what he sells. Does he sell dolls or does he sell Gringo Loco likenesses?
Yeah, I've been excited to see. I think he sells dolls for my kids. I think they're for kids. I think they're for my daughters.
They're not for kids. They're for all kinds of people.
You told me you bought that for me. Is that plush for you?
No, it's not for you. It's for your daughter, Clark.
No, for you, not me. You. Where are we going? Are you taking us on the road? You got Rygar to show us here? Where are we going, Larger?
Don't worry about it. I'm concerned about where I'm going.
You see an Al walking around his apartment at this moment. I mean, his studio.
Altimo Dragon might have to pop out tonight. It's possible.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he might.
We'll get a Paris there,
I don't think I'm going to get it in time. I started looking to maybe grab a mask because I know that you tend to wear masks to shows. I was going to grab one to bring with you, but spoiler alert, I was unable to find one.
That's good.
That is good.
Well, yeah. So the Pro Bowl happened. Basketball's in full spin. You got your Bulls hat on, but you haven't mentioned one thing of from the hardwood. What's going on with the Bulls?
Man, they're not healthy. Io today is now in the concussion protocol, not from an injury from last night's game, but from the night before, Sunday against Philadelphia. There were a few times he got banged up. I guess he and the guard Matt Thomas collided a bit there. So you got Io out. You've got a lot of injuries still. What we're all talking about at this moment in the Bulls fandom, of course, the main talk is when these guys get back healthy, is there going to be enough time? Is Patrick Williams going to be back in time? Is there enough time to gel before the playoffs? I got to tell you, seeing them play, a few weeks ago, they played against a full Brooklyn Nets. You could see what the level of basketball is and what level you want to attain. The Bulls are still working on becoming and getting to that.
Right.
I'm not saying that they can't compete in a 7-game series.
You haven't said that.
I'm not saying that they can't compete in the 7-game series.
You have not said that.
But they certainly no. But they certainly let's just see how it gels, right? Let's get Caruso back. Let's get Patrick Williams back. Let's get everybody back in there and let's see what we can do. Lonzo Ball. Io's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a true for being a second round pick, Al. Io Dunsumo, I'm telling you, he's better than anybody ever could have expected. You hear his name all over the place. Chicago kid right there too.
That's awesome.
I see that it seems like Rod Marinelli's not going to be on this coaching staff. There was a thought there that maybe he would, with some connections that he has, some Raiders have,
Yeah.
because they did hire a defensive line coach today, in Travis Smith from the Oakland Raiders. They're really starting to fill out their coaching staff as we go here.
Yeah, I was disappointed we didn't get the guy who was the interim head coach of the Raiders. I like that guy. He had, a lot of good emotion, and he seemed. I think there was talk that maybe he might take the special teams job. That he has history with the current head coach. So,
Okay.
yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a letdown. Again, there's nothing on this staff that excites me, and that doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean it's bad because, oh, Jesus Christ, because we just don't know. Like, you don't know what a guy is as a head coach, let alone a line coach, let alone a quarterback coach. There's very few people you do know that have the proven track record, and most of them have jobs or get promoted to other jobs, and then
So
hit a
yeah.
ceiling and then fall back to that job.
So the new
Man,
special
Lovie Smith, him as a head coach, like that is just neglectful, just neglectful.
Well, it's just I'm happy for him to get the opportunity. A lot of things had to happen for him to get this job, right? I mean, he was defensive coordinator of the team. They went through a lot of hires, and a lot of things had to fall. And I think the Brian Flores lawsuit, I think, really opened the door for them to hire Lovie Smith, and I'm happy for him to have this opportunity.
Well, Brian Flores should have gotten that job if anybody. Like Lovie Smith is a bad coach. Okay, he's when
I
you look at
wouldn't say a bad coach. He
yeah
might be exactly what that franchise needs right now. They need
No.
a sense of calm in there, a
No.
leader of men. His last season with the Bears, Al, he was 10-6. He's the last
Right.
coach of the Bears that has
Yeah,
had
and how
any sort of credibility.
so the cover two defense, which is what Lovie Smith runs, has been exposed. It's been beaten. People know the way around it. The defense isn't viable anymore to be
What
a
is
defense to be
Eberflus?
built
What
around.
is
They
Eberflus?
ran it. They ran it in Houston, and it was bad. It was god awful. Now I understand Houston has a lot of problems. Okay, lots of problems.
Right.
Yeah, Flues runs a cover two, but it's a modified cover two. Lovie Smith runs a pure cover two, and he hasn't changed it. Like it's the same concept that was working with the Bears. When you had Brian Urlacher and you had Lance Briggs and you had Peanut Tillman and you had all the studs. Now people know how to beat it, and the best way to beat a cover two is to run underneath.
What defense
mobile
does
quarterbacks can destroy.
what's
cover
Eberflus
two.
bringing?
Huh?
What's Eberflus bringing to the Bears?
A modified cover two.
Right? Yeah. Okay. But are you thinking maybe he can modify it more than what a Lovie Smith can? Is that because I mean he was successful with it with the Colts last year. He's been successful.
Yeah. I mean, his blitz rate, he's just a higher percentage. He runs the defense different.
Okay, sure. It's been
but Lovey's bad. I mean, he's just a bad coach, and there's just like a list of dudes who are better. Guys. Guys I wouldn't want the Bears to hire. Like a Caldwell.
right.
I think made sense for the Houston Texans. And
but a guy that I wanted to hire like a Flores made sense too. That franchise. I'm happy to be a Bears fan compared to the franchise of the Houston Texans. Right. Al, that line coach had spent the previous 3 seasons as assistant defensive line coach with the Raiders. He's Travis Smith. He's played a big role in the development of defensive end Max Crosby, who's become one of the league's best pass rushers.
Yeah.
Good news for like a Travis Gibson and veterans like Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. This coach had already worked with Mack back in the day with the Raiders. Back in the day. He was around there before. You mentioned special teams coordinator. They actually went with Robbie Gould's most recent special teams coordinator, the coordinator that took down the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs this year. From the 49ers, Richard Hightower. He comes. comes to a Chicago unit that ranked among the top 10 in special teams. The Bears special teams.
I got excited when you said Robbie Gold. I thought maybe Robbie Gold like retired and became a special teams coordinator. That would have been cool.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Greatest Bear of all time as a human being, Charles Tillman. Just always like to throw that out there.
You think so?
I don't think there's a better human being that played football than Charles Tillman. I think the guy is the salt of the earth.
And
Whatever the hell that means.
A great football player.
By the way, what does preaching to the choir mean? I was just thinking about that when I was washing dishes before
I think the choir's already on your side. Like you guys are already, you're preaching the gospel, speaking it, and they're singing the gospel. So they're already on your team.
But they're basically they're drafted for people already in the stands. They're in the people who already bought tickets to go to the Sunday show. They're already in there. They're already in the building. So like,
oh, did I miss the alarm? I missed the alarm.
Yeah, you missed the alarm. We had a brief alarm moment.
Tone says we need to do a shot every time that goes on. I'm sorry, you were saying. I didn't mean to.
No. I'm just confused as the whole preaching to the choir thing, because I feel like anybody who shows up in a church is ready to be. Nobody who goes to church needs to be preached to at that point, or they want to be preached to because they're going to church. So whether you're in the choir or not is irrelevant.
Yeah, but you're not there. You're not there. You don't know the sermon. Like you don't know. You weren't there at the dress rehearsal or anything, right? Like you guys, the songs that the pastor is preaching go along with that day's service. But they already know the gospel.
Look, as a dude who went to Catholic school, now I don't know where you went, but I went to a Catholic school, so we had daily, religion class. We had to go to church every day, Clark. And
you are speaking with a former Sunday school teacher at the Kirkland United Methodist Church, my friend.
So, your beard makes a lot more sense now.
What? What does that mean?
So you're saying like I don't think the preachers rehearse before the show with the choir. Like I know they might do a walkthrough, like we would do walkthrough of scenes, but we didn't do the full scenes. We would just be like, all right, we're gonna go into mechanics now, and Clark and Lawrence, you guys are on stage. All right, you're off stage. We would do tops and bottoms. I think all they do is tops and bottoms at the church.
Sure, but you're already getting the message. Like you already know that you're on. It's like, man, I don't know. I see what you're saying slightly, but they're on the same side. Preaching.
Well, as long as you slightly get what I'm saying, I'll take that. It's a win for me. I'm happy.
Like me asking my kid to stop eating the snow because it's been on the ground for 4 days, and
I still eat the snow.
Lord knows who's peed on it, what's peed on it, and what
she knows not to eat yellow snow and brown snow.
Yellow snow, but if she's going there grabbing the other snow that's around, it's likely gotten some spray from it. Not every dog. A lot of dogs are hydrated; they're not pissing yellow. That's all I'm saying.
Does she still eat? Does she eat the frost in the grocery store? I used to do that as a kid. I don't think that's really a thing anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I would let that happen, especially in the last 2 years. I've become a little more aware of germs than I used to be, but even before then, I don't think I would have been. I get the eating the frost. Okay, all right. Maybe I'm just getting too irrationally angry about my daughter continuing to eat the snow.
Yeah, just let her have the snow, man.
Am I out of line?
Okay. I don't think you're out of line, but I think maybe you're just over concerned. Like, just let the kid be a kid.
Some folks think that maybe you've overthought this whole preaching to the choir thing, but I don't think there's ever overthinking. I think it's part of the good conversation. Oh, see, yeah, the
Arkansas, dude.
The congregation needs to be saved. The choir is already bought in. Does the whole?
But so is everybody who's in there. Everybody who's in that church is bought in. There's nobody wavering. If you go to church now in 2022, you're not wavering, man. You're there. Like it's a commitment.
Somebody could be bringing in. Somebody could be bringing in somebody. Like somebody could bring in a friend.
Wilson finally has a good point today after his mistakes on action figures and plush toys. She wouldn't be eating snow if she got good ice cream, Clark.
Damn it.
It all comes back to the ice cream. Get her some of that Italian ice. Once she eats Italian ice, she's going to forget all about snow. She's like, Daddy, this is shit. There's no lemon flavor.
She's going to be real.
Where's the black cherry?
Some winter when we get like a hold of an ice cream maker and I'm like, all right, we need this snow. And she's like, but Dad, You always told me not to eat the snow. Dig down an inch into that snow and eat it. That's coming from Charlotte J, who's seen a trace of snow in the last 10 years. Come on.
Yeah, it's true, though. If you scrape off the top layers, it's like picking the mold off the bread.
We for the first 3 days after the snow last week, we were able to sled to school. So I'm pulling them. And the big thing was dragging the hand. Well, sometimes we're in the alley, right, where all the cars have driven. And that's where I get a little bit, it's a little much. Just a bit much.
So what do you like? Knock it off, Hazel. What do you like? How do you? What's corrective Clark like?
Hazel, come on, Hayes. I've asked you 3 times now. Is that 3 times that I've asked you not to eat that snow? That's 3 times now, Hayes. We've talked about this, and then other times I'm just like, okay, you know what? No, I'm not pulling you in the sled anymore. You have to walk now. You have to walk. That happens.
Man, these kids got you wrapped. These kids got you. You're fucking chauffeuring them to school, dragging them in their chariots. I mean, I thought the cat has me by the paws, but man, these kids.
That cat has you. How you get the best food? I bet.
Best food, highest quality.
Yeah, I remember.
Number 1 litter box on the market. She's got it. Best treats. She's getting fat though.
Getting the number 1 robotic litter box, is that for the cat or more for you?
It's more for me. Yeah. But she doesn't know what a dirty litter box is. She's only minterated in the cleanliness of environments.
All right. Hey, I just looked at our phone line. I know Gringo's going to join us at 7, but we can go out to Jersey for a second before he joins us.
Oh, I absolutely love Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Joseph's Finest Meat Hotline, here he is, Jersey Lou. Hey, welcome back to the show, brother.
Went to Joseph's yesterday, by the way.
I never left.
Welcome back, buddy. Yeah, he's been on hold this whole time, Clark. Since the last 2 shows.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, for one thing, of course, we got the Super Bowl. I'm not looking at this to be a blowout, to be honest with you. I'm looking at this to be a fairly close game. I mean, well, let's face it, most of my other predictions have gone down the tube, so I was thinking blowouts, so this one shouldn't be a blowout either.
Well, we've talked about dolls. We've talked about churches and preaching to the choir, and we are a sports show, and we've forgotten to speak about the Super Bowl. So thank you, Lou, for bringing this to back grounded into the reality that is this Sunday, the biggest game in the world, as the underdog Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals march into a hostile environment as they take on the Rams of I'm not sure where they're from anymore.
Guys, you would not believe how much the total betting is on this whole thing.
What is billions?
How much is the betting?
When you add up all the bets that I put in, this is going to be, I think, the biggest thing since this is over $7 billion.
Wow. 7 B's.
Now this is of course with legal gamblers, of course, not morons.
Oh, okay.
Hey, watch it, Clay. This is my family you're speaking
I'm not a moron here. I'm just degenerate is different than a moron. Lou, you just said biggest thing since sliced bread. Al's been talking about preaching to the choir. What do you think about the term preaching to the choir, Lou?
Preaching to the choir, I think it's like saying say it like you mean it. Don't pull any punches, It's like, you're speaking the truth. Preach to the choir, not the truth.
Okay. See, there you go.
Yeah, so that clarifies that. Thank you.
And then the greatest thing since sliced bread, up until they figured out to slice it and sell it, you used to have to buy the whole loaf and cut that thing yourself. You ever cut bread on your own, Al?
You got to use a bread knife. You have to have the rigid, it looks like a saw. You have to have the proper utensils. Absolutely. I don't know what the big deal was if everybody owned a bread knife back in the day. I know sliced bread is a pleasure and a luxury we've always had, but I would think bigger things have had it. That's serrated. Thank you, dude.
I am a fan of the bread knife. However, it does leave an erroneous amount of crumbs. The bread knife still leaves too many crumbs.
That's the beauty of sawing bread, man. You're sawing the logs, baby.
Yeah.
You're cooking. You're cooking out in the woods. Oh boy.
Oh boy, where are we at? There we go.
From, did I say about your neighbors? Oh,
No.
oh.
I missed that. Hey, how's your new coaching situation out there? You got a hold of our guy, Al's guy. He's with the Giants now.
Yeah.
Ryan Dable is now with the Giants.
Yeah.
And
for defensive, they're getting another big name.
okay. Who's
I
that?
think Martindale.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a game show host.
No.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think all this time I was a game show host. How about that? Oh. Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. What else you got for us,
I can
Lou?
hear the booze already. Go ahead.
Oh,
Thank you.
you can't stump Al.
I
in
deserve
his-
it. I deserve it.
You can't
I
stump
couldn't
Al.
resist.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but still, there'll be a crappy team next year anyway.
Yeah,
I don't see the Giants making a significant progress.
I really have
As long as
no
you got
idea.
Danny Dimes as your quarterback.
Yeah, I think right now I'd rather have Justin Fields as the quarterback than I would Danny Dimes.
And figure Justin Bieber. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh. Yuck.
I don't understand the reference, but that's all right. Larcher, you all right over there?
Well, Justin. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm chatting with the people in the Twitch about my meatball sandwich search. Right now I have Lou. You'd be excited about this. I'm searching for Chicago's best meatball. So twice a week I go to a place that sells meatball sandwiches and I eat the meatballs. I went to Babo's yesterday. Babo's on Irving Park. Shitty meatball, man.
You're not a fan of Babo's?
I didn't. You know what? I used to work across. Someone suggested Babo's because I'm taking suggestions, and I actually went to the Butcher of Belmont, the former professional wrestler whose family owns a butcher shop on Belmont and Natelli. I went to Natelli. Now they got great meatballs. I haven't had them in a long time, but I was going there to get the meatballs at Natelli's. But I stopped at Joseph's Finest Meats to pick up some steaks and some ground beef so I can make my own meatballs. And I went there. By the time I got to Natelli's was closed by 4:00. I got there at 4:15, so I got no meatballs. So I was right there in the area, and I know Babo's because I used to work right down across the street from Babo's. 90% of the things on Babo's menu is shit. Okay, like his chili is putrid, but his beef sandwiches are really good, and I kind of remember the meatballs being good. And I had the meatballs; the sauce was excellent. But the meatball itself was juicy, but had zero flavor, and the bread was overbearing. So Babo's got a 3 out of 5 Meltzer stars, where Pequod's is still number one at 4.5.
Okay. All right. I've got to be honest. Back in the day,
Chicago.
I enjoyed myself a Subway meatball sandwich.
Yeah, that's like a 2.5. Like it's edible. It's edible. You get a lot of meatballs. They go with the smaller balls, and you get more of them. You never know how many you're gonna get. Usually around 6 balls. And
we used to have somebody's mom or something, for potlucks back in the day would always do. Somebody back in the day would always try to copy the Subway sandwich meatball recipe. Yeah. That was a thing to do where I come from, and I thought they were fine. I really do.
Copycat though.
So far, you do go with Pequod's for the best meatball. Was that Pequod's down in Lincoln Park or the one up in Morton Grove?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's Pequod's. I like the parking better in Morton Grove, so I went Morton Grove. And man, the experience sucked. I waited 45 minutes for a meatball sandwich. I deducted a half a fucking star because of the goddamn long wait for the meatball sandwich. You don't wait 40 minutes for meatball sandwich.
Lou, he's talking about one of the busiest pizza Italian restaurants in the city.
Dead that night. Dead.
Yeah. Wow. Dead?
Everyone around me ordered, Pequod's is known for their deep stuffed pizza, right? Those things, those things take a while to cook because they're so thick. Everyone around me ordered pizzas after me, got their pizza before I got a meatball sandwich. A meatball sandwich. The balls are already made, Clark.
Huh.
Okay.
They just shove them in. They shove them in bread. They throw mozzarella on top, and they heat it.
Gringo Loco will be joining the show soon. But while I have Lou on the line, last week, Lou, I saw a list of the top pizzas one of these lists in which state has the
Oh.
best pizza, and I saw New Jersey on the top of that list. New Jersey pizza. What could you tell me about it?
I always thought it was Chicago, to be honest, but New Jersey beats it out. I mean, New Jersey doesn't get really recognized much for anything because mostly the army go in New York and whatnot, but we have our own ways of, getting those. And, we know our pizza. There's a lot of Italians in the area, so we know what we're doing. And, of course, we had a family-owned pizza place for a while, too.
Oh.
So we know how to handle it.
So your sauces, Lou, are you more of a sweet sauce, or you prefer the savory or spicy?
Savory.
Savory. Okay.
I'm
right.
savory. I don't know about the rest of my family, but I'm savory.
Okay. I don't know. I do like a little bit of a sweet, a little sweet to my sauce, right? Al, what about you?
Okay.
I need, I want to taste the oregano. I want to taste a little garlic powder in there. I don't mind sweetness, though. I think sweetness is fine, especially if you balance it with spice. My pizza, I like really saucy and I like really cheesy, and I do a sausage onion. Lou, what are your, as a dude who's in the business, who has family in the business, what are your pizza toppings?
Oh, we just anything. We have spinach, we have broccoli, we can have pepperoni.
I know, but what do you like, Lou? What is Lou? When Lou goes and Lou orders pizza, what's Lou getting?
It varies. Sometimes it's just, I like mushrooms.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been my pizza, you guys, has lately pepperoni and spinach on it. Maybe throw a little goat cheese on it as well.
It's missing. All it's missing there is a black olive. Black olive pairs perfectly with pepperoni.
Let me tell you something. When I'm feeling saucy,
we'll handle that.
When I'm feeling a little bit salty, probably, if you want a salty pizza, go with pepperoni, sausage, black olives, and green olives. Boom.
Well, no shit. I mean,
good to
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like that too.
My favorite non-traditional pizza, and I actually reviewed Mr. Beef's meatball sandwich. It came in at like I think it was a 3.5. It wasn't a bad sandwich. It wasn't a good sandwich, but they're known for their beef sandwiches, but they also make pizza, and they like overdo the cheese. If you get a Mr. Beef's pizza, you get the roast beef on top of it with the giardiniera. That's a fantastic pizza. The beef sandwich, Chicago beef sandwich pizza.
How many stars is there? Is there like what, 5?
Well, it's the Meltzer system, which was adopted from the wrestling world. So in theory, there are 5 stars. But if I got a meatball sandwich that was as good as a Kenny Omega Okada match, that meatball sandwich could get up to 6, 7 stars. I mean, there's no stopping the stars. The ceiling is breakable within the meatball sandwich rating system.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
All right. Well,
because usually it's like 4 stars, a 5-star restaurant. I never heard of a 7-star restaurant, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, if you heard of a 7-star restaurant, you'd probably have to go because my God, it broke the scale.
Yeah.
Sausage and onion is the GOAT pizza order. See, Wilson knows. His hot takes on dolls are wrong, but he's right on everything else.
Wow. Okay, then.
Yeah. Don't forget about my Super Bowl show Saturday, 4:00 your time.
What time?
Number is 5 p.m. my time, 4:00 your time.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, because you're an hour behind me.
4:00 your time. We will be sure to tune in, my friend. Lou?
No, 4:00 Central Time, 5:00 my time.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
So 5:00 in Chicago, and then we'll go 6:00 in your time.
Tonight time's not working for me, and I don't know why. And my apologies on that, Lou. I hope you have a big Super Bowl show. What's your big the number one topic on the Super Bowl show? The Super Bowl.
Number one topic is what would be the key factors for each team to win? What are the key factors for the Rams to win, and what are the key factors for the Bengals to win?
Okay.
I did that on purpose. So
All right.
We're looking for with defensive, running backs, the whole 9 yards. In this case, all 99 yards.
Awesome. All right. Well,
The number to call is 512-543-4662. 5 Eastern, 4 Central.
awesome, brother. And you're on the Uber, right?
That's correct.
That's
Yes.
right. Awesome, Lou. All right, brother. Thank you so much. Have a great Super Bowl show, and then enjoy the Super Bowl as well.
That depends who wins.
Fair enough.
Who are you cheering for, Lou? Real quick, who are you cheering for?
Rams.
Oh, hang up on him, Clark. Hang up. Hang up. What's the last phrase? Disconnect? What did Les say?
Dump him. Dump him.
Dump him. Dump him. Dump him.
Lou. Oh, he hung up on his own. I didn't even get to dump him. He dumped himself. Dump him.
Bengals, Clark. Bengals. That's the only answer.
I
suspect the Rams are going to win.
I'm wearing my my Les shirt right now, actually, to be honest. I got the
That's cute. That's good.
Les Grobstein Forever shirt, I think, is the one that I ended up with. It's always great to get Lou back on the show. Man, if you want to watch us on Twitch, if you're not, join us at twitch.com/sportsaddict. You can follow us on Twitter at Larcher Lawrenson. We are live at the Sports Attic. The show, The Sports Attic, comes to you every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. is when the show rolls.
And if you forget, you could set an alarm for 6:45, and then you'll only be like 10 minutes late because Clark usually takes 5 minutes to get rolling. So
yeah, that's true. That is quite true. Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm not. Unfortunately, Clark, you were supposed to send me an invite to your party, and it came a little too late. So I'm not going to be able to attend. But I do appreciate.
What do you mean a little too late?
Well, you said you were going to send it the next day, and it never came. So I figured I wasn't invited. So somebody else hit me up, and I made plans.
You're making,
and then all of a sudden the it came like on a Saturday, and I was like, ooh. So I regretfully inform you.
It came on a Thursday. I sent it on a Thursday.
Yeah, I think it was later than that, but
let's be honest. The real issue is the amount of kids that are going to be in attendance.
I mean, it's not the only issue, but it's an issue. What's the spread going to be like?
Right now, we have a guy who's bringing in a Skyline chili because the Cincinnati Bengals are playing.
Yeah.
I'm making for no reason other than I'm making a Texas mac and cheese. It's got a nice spice to it for the adults. We do have a few other things coming,
but your judgment of spice is shit. I mean, you planning
on making
your mild spice.
No.
If you were one of the Spice Girls, you would be mild.
This isn't for me. I'm good with making things for other folks as well.
But if you don't appreciate the taste of the spice to begin with, you don't know, man. It's like, I don't know what it's like. I have no comparison, but it's definitely not. It's not good. Like, you need to know the spice, man. You got to be in tune. You got to know what it's like to fucking sweat the peppers. And if you that's not you, then you're not doing it. What about deviled eggs? Because I don't do Super Bowl parties without somebody bringing deviled eggs. Will there be deviled eggs? Is that on the menu right now?
What would you like to bring deviled eggs?
Yeah, I'm out.
No, you could bring.
No. Thank you, Clark. Thank you for the offer.
Bring some deviled eggs.
You and I are going to be hanging out Saturday night, this Saturday, at Warrior Wrestling. And we're going to see some great wrestling. We're going to have a fun time Saturday. Maybe we can go out to dinner afterwards. I don't know. We'll make some magic. We'll see them boys. I'm excited to see the Briscoe brothers. They've been crazy on YouTube. I mean, they've always been crazy, but lately they've been extra crazy.
Hey, give me
Sunday.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hang on just 1 second. Give me just a second. I'll be right back with you.
All right. So Sunday, yeah. We got the Briscoe brothers are coming to Cicero, And these guys are they're Virginia hillbillies, like teeth missing, crazy. And when you go to wrestling, a lot of times there's characters that are bad dudes, and you're like, I could take that guy, or that guy doesn't really scare me. He's obviously pretending. These guys, you believe. You believe they're legit. They were in Ring of Honor forever. Now that Ring of Honor is kind of on hiatus, they're out there working the indies. I'm very excited to see them. Good question by Wilson for Life. Devil eggs with or without relish? Um, I'm gonna go without. I'm not opposed to the relish. If the relish is on it, I'm definitely gonna still enjoy it. But I'm not seeking out the relish. I don't relish in the relish, as the kids like to say. So, well, Clark, I believe, is in the green room right now, getting ready for our guest. Super Bowl Sunday, definitely taking the Cincinnati Bengals as a fan. My fandom is for the underdog. It's for the Bengals, but I really, really have concerns with what the Rams are going to do with that pass rush and that defense against the folding turnstile that is the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. Joe Burrow, I mean, could really, we've seen it happen this year too, where the offensive line falls apart and he just can't get going. And he has been going like the last, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 weeks. He's been unstoppable despite the line, and the line found itself. And if they can maintain, then I like the Cincinnati Bengals' chances, but devil eggs must have relish, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I had 2 sets of devil's eggs right now and I could sample them both, I might come around to your line of thinking. Like, I'm not against the relish. I'm just thinking in my experience with deviled eggs, I don't know that I've ever considered the relish as a topping, but it could have been there. Because I just start pounding. You eat one deviled egg, you eat like 10 of them. I mean, that's why they're the devil's eggs, the devil's huevos. I mean, they definitely are addicting, and they're terrible for you. You drop dead from eating too many deviled eggs. A lot of Super Bowl deaths, a lot of 911 calls on the Super Bowl Sunday are due to deviled eggs. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a concern. Wilson says it's a requirement. All right, well, I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I know you got the egg, you got the mayo. I mean, the mayo is a requirement, and a little cayenne pepper sprinkled on top, I believe, or at least a red pepper. But yeah, I've never made deviled eggs. It just seems there's things in life that I have decided I really enjoy that I could go and spend a premium on and buy and get and not have to worry about making. And then there's things in life I really enjoy that I want to learn how to make and be able to produce my own of it. And deviled eggs falls into the category of I have no interest in learning how to make them. I don't like dealing with eggs. I don't like dealing with fish. I rolled like sushi is a good example. About 2 years ago, I got one of the best fishmongers across the street from me. I live at one of the city's best fishmongers right across the street. So I've sauntered in there before, and I've went ahead and I've purchased sushi grade salmon, and I go to the Boon Pong, the Korean grocery store. I think that's how it's said. Right off the Kennedy right off of 94. Um, and I go there and I get the wrap and I get the right rice and I get the rice vinegar and I get everything you need. The mats to fold the sushi. I get everything you need. I get a sushi grade knife and I make sushi and I finished eating the sushi and I go, at the end of the day, I bought really high quality ingredients and this tastes as good as the shit at the supermarket. So I decided that day forward, I'm not going to make sushi. I've tried, I've learned the process, but I'm not going to master it. So I might as well just overpay for good sushi, and that's what I do. That and lasagna. That lasagna and deviled eggs. I have those on the list of things I just don't have any interest in making, but I enjoy when other people do. So yeah, Super Bowl. I wish home nachos were better. People definitely don't nail the nachos as good as restaurants. Um, You know, you got the crock pot with the cheese. I mean, you can pull it off. I know Clark's talking about some kind of chili mac thing he's making. I would imagine, and he won't do this. I mean, this is why I'm not going. He's not going to have the because you need the Frito Lays. If you get a couple bags of Frito Lays, you throw those in a bowl, and then you pour the chili mac on top of it, and maybe even a dab of the chili, that Skyline chili, which is not good chili, and you take a bowl of that and you eat your Fritos as you're watching, Matt Stafford try to get things done. You're going to enjoy the Super Bowl, but yeah, I just don't see that happening. Yeah, lasagna, man, it's too layered. At the end of the day, there's just too many layers, and it might be really easy to do, but I just don't have the patience to do it. I mean, meatballs. I mean, you got to roll them. They take a little bit of work, but I kind of enjoy working with the meatball as opposed to a sheet of pasta. So yeah. Well, Clark, I don't know what happened to Clark. Clark got abducted by aliens. I believe he's getting Gringo Loco, and we'll get rolling with the interview here shortly. Um, as far as gambling goes, I don't know if I'm going to be doing much. You know, I say that now, but I'm a degenerate, so my fingers are going to start twitching before, maybe Saturday night. Maybe, well, I'm at the wrestling show, and I'm going to be like, oh, man, I want to put money on Cincinnati. So I'll have my wife make a tray when you come from the basement. Oh, hell yeah. And we're definitely doing the basement show. It is on the agenda. You know, we got to get through the winter. It's too cold to do shit. It's just like stay home. I'm all for people mask up and stay home throughout the winter. And then when summer comes, you can do whatever you want with your mask and then go out into the world and enjoy life. But in Chicago in the wintertime, man, it's just not worth going outside. Like, I hate it. I'm officially an old man who should move to Florida. I've gotten there. I'm thinking I've always wanted to die in Montana. Like, that's where I want to go. I want to go, and I just want to fade away in Montana. Have a piece of property. Look out at mountains, smell the air, drink coffee in the morning, and step outside and sit on a log and just watch the dusk or the dawn and have a great time and a great life. I've always wanted that from Montana, but Montana gets cold too. Like, maybe that's just maybe the vision of Montana is more so a dream than a reality. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to be a Florida guy. Like, at the end of the day, maybe Texas. I don't know. I haven't decided. I mean, the truth of the matter is I'm probably just going to die in Chicago because, once a Chicagoan, like, you're always a Chicagoan. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm aiming. I think I'm going to start looking at some radio jobs in smaller markets, if those even exist anymore, and if they'll take a guy who hasn't done radio in 10 years, and see if I can find a job and go out and start going where it's warmer. As Jimmy Buffett once saying, I got to go where the weather suits my clothes. So I like t-shirts. I like sweatpants. T-shirts and sweatpants. I don't know what city. Maybe Atlantic City would be good for that. Oh, I got to think. I'll talk to Lou. See what's going on there. Yeah, but I'm excited for the game. I think at the end of the season we got a pretty good Super Bowl. I mean, Cincinnati obviously a big underdog, and but it feels right. Like, it feels like there's momentum, and that they have a chance, and that there's paths to victory. Where sometimes you get an underdog and it's like, yeah, they got there, but what are the paths to victory? I mean, that doesn't always turn out right either. Like the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots, where you're just like, all right, well, here come the Patriots, and the Giants end up pulling off the upset. So, I mean, anything's possible, and that's what we're going to find out. Yeah. So, anyways, just a second. I'm sorry. Getting these private messages. Hurry up! I got nothing to talk about. Yeah. This is the other reason I don't like going to like Clark's Super Bowl party. Is I'm gonna be stuck. I'm gonna have all these like ideas and these thoughts and these stories I could share with people, and it's gonna be absolutely wonderful. But then there's gonna be the moment where it's like, oh, it's just well, I'm stuck now. It's just me and you guys, and like I got nothing else to say. So now what? Like, I mean, it's uncomfortable. This is when I would excuse myself and go see if anybody updated the devil's eggs, brought new ones out. But I can't because it's the show's going on. It's a live deal. Uh, a sad deal. Al, are you a craft beer guy? I'm actually not a beer guy whatsoever. I'm straight whiskey. I love alcohol. I love mixed cocktails. When I was a kid, I just never liked the flavor of beer, and then I had the lap band because I thought I was going to get rid of the fat. And one of the things is you can't have carbonated drinks, and so beer was kind of out of the question. And I've always been like a Jack Daniels guy, like junior high. Find a bottle of Jack Daniels. College, it was Jack Daniels. And as I gotten older, I prefer a nice mixed drink. I'm a big I like a highball with some Japanese whiskey, with some hibiki, and I make a really good I make a mean Manhattan. I always have supplies and the gears ready to go for Manhattans, and that's more my jam. Although as I've gotten older, I do enjoy a beer every now and then, especially the craft beers. I like exploring, but I have absolutely no knowledge of it. It's just like I could have one, and that's it. 30 seconds. Clark just typed 30 seconds. Like the amount of time it takes to type the 30 seconds seems good. Yeah, most people do the old fashioned. Like the old fashioned's definitely the trend, and Manhattan kind of fell by the wayside. But I prefer the Manhattan to the old fashioned, and I can't really explain why. I think I just really like the cherries on the bottom of the Manhattan, and the citrus on the old fashioned just isn't as appealing. Although the orange smell definitely blends really nicely. I like both drinks. I could drink like 10 Manhattans. Oh yeah, big cherry. Well, you got to get the good cherries. You got to get the expensive cherries. If you get cheap cherries, you're doing it wrong. If you get the shit you put on top of a sundae, yeah, the Luxardo. That's exactly right. That's the shit. You have to get those in order to make the Manhattan. So, Clark, you back? What's up, buddy? I see you on the screen.
Yep. I got an update coming here. We are moments away from being joined by Gringo Loco.
Excellent.
Just a few moments here. I spilled my wine. I just need another 78 seconds here. 78 seconds. I'll be right back.
Leave the wine. Every studio needs a wine stain. Like that's part of a great studio.
No. Nope.
It was always weird wondering, like, with a radio job, if you could drink on the job. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like in my 20s, I was like, I don't understand why I just can't have a drink with me right now. Like, it's just, you're alone in a room, you're talking to people. Like, it makes sense to just have a drink. And some radio stations don't care. Some program directors are cool with it as long as you don't get drunk. You can't get drunk on the air. It's like working at a bar. You could drink and you could have a good time, but the second you're a drunk, you're failing, and the whole process is going to hell, and you're taking advantage of a situation. So yeah, so I've always thought, like, especially if you're doing like a morning radio, having like a nice 8 a.m. Or 6 a.m. cocktail, a little gin and tonic to get your morning started. It's a good way to go. But
Al,
yeah,
I'm back. You're back.
good.
And it's been a long time coming, my friend. Al, I know you've been excited about having our next guest.
Most excited since Bobby Heaton and Merle Haggard.
I'll be damned. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, years in the making, bringing you on with Al and I, Gringo Loco.
Hell yes, there he is. Look at him.
Brother, can you hear
Glasses
us
on
the show?
I can finally hear and see you, gentlemen. How are you guys doing this evening?
We are excellent. We are excited to be seeing you this Saturday in Cicero in a match that's absolutely going to be a banger. You are on a tear right now, my friend. I mean, the internet is abuzz with you.
Yeah, you said I'm where Saturday? Because if you don't tell me, I have no idea. So you said Cicero?
Yeah, somewhere in Cicero. You
Down
and
at
me
the
both.
Cicero Stadium on Saturday. It's a Warrior Wrestling show. That's the one that we're going to see.
Oh, okay. So I can actually drive to one for once. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. No, it's going to be a banger, man. Alex Zane, Blake Christian, and Myron Reed. I know exactly where I'm going, who I'm going up against. It is definitely going to be a banger.
Yeah, and you guys are all like kings of movement, and I expect you guys to steal the show, and the show is jam packed. Like it is, there's not a bad match on the card. So, but before we get to Cicero, I mean, I'd like to know your journey because, like, you're a dude from Chicago who goes to Mexico. You train there, you learn the craft there. I mean, I did a whole YouTube binge on the Gringo Loco yesterday. I mean, I saw the good, I saw the bad, I saw the ugly. You know, I mean, I got to know about your match with the ice cream man and what appeared to be an audition for Gilbert Grape. I mean, it was wild. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you go to Mexico? Like, when did that decision come, and how'd you get there?
Yeah, man. I was in high school and I really liked professional wrestling, and I started like on a blue tumbling floor at a gymnastics gym, and we did that for like 2 years, every Wednesday, every Saturday, bro. And like, lo and behold, one time there was a real wrestler that came in. He was working on actual tumbling. It was like, wow, you guys are super good at this. Where do you guys work? And in wrestling terms, that means where do you work in wrestling? And we are not wrestlers, so we said, he works at Jimmy John's, I work at Papa John's, and like that was our answer. So we didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So he very sketchily offered us to go to this place at this time on a Thursday, and we took him up on the offer, and it ended up being a lucha libre gym here in Chicago back in the day. And
Wow.
since then, man, I got to be honest, all these years later, I've just been enamored and completely obsessed with becoming an expert in the art of lucha libre.
That's crazy. You know, a lot of if wrestlers, we got a lot of sports fans who aren't necessarily wrestling fans. Lucha Libre. I mean, how would you define it? It's more tumble based, lot of arm drags, a lot of movement.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces within that art. I mean, obviously you saw what I did Saturday. That's considered lucha libre as well, but definitely more acrobatic, more high flying, more crispness to the moves, more clearly working together, but it's more of a beautiful art. But then you have like these hard hitting luchadors like Black Terry, Negro Navarro, Solar, Hijo de Santo, bro, who are just beating
Yeah,
the living shit out of each other. That's another uh, aspect and angle of lucha libre as well. So it just depends. Nowadays everybody is saying that wrestling is a buffet. It's there's a little bit for everyone. Lucha
right.
libre is just part of the buffet. So um, definitely my favorite part of wrestling is lucha libre, but I'm starting to branch out and becoming more familiar with the American crowd, as you saw on Saturday. So I love it, man. I love the role I'm on, and I think that the sky's the limit at this point.
Yeah,
Watching your match Saturday night down in Texas. Well, first of all, let's talk about your weekend journey. It started traveling down there on Friday. I followed you on Twitter with this. I mean, you had flights canceled, you waited it out, and then you drove a damn car down there. Take us through it a little bit.
Yeah, it's this was a weekend that was
A
so
shoulder.
memorable. I will never forget. It was one thing after the other. I wish it was Friday I flew in, but it was Thursday, which
Okay.
extended the nightmare by a day. And I land, and my connecting flight is canceled. No big deal. They're going to get me on a 7-Eleven flight. That gets canceled. Now I have to get a hotel, and I have to find a way to the hotel, blah, 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 right? So then 8:32 a.m. is the next flight out. And as I'm booking the hotel to sleep somewhere, because I'm not sleeping at Dallas Airport, that flight in the morning gets canceled along with everything else to Houston the next day. So I go to my hotel not knowing if I'm ever going to get that bag back because I don't know the protocol. I've never lost a bag. I don't know what's going to happen. Long story short, the gate agent says, hey, you're going to have to wait at that carousel right next to me until your bag comes up. 9 hours later, no bag, and I have to get to Houston somehow to make this show because it's Mascara Dorada, and it's like a long time coming. I trained with the guy in my very beginnings, and now he's in my ring of Game Changer Wrestling. I have to make the show. So I'm literally going to the show in camel joggers and a hoodie. Like, that's all I have to me. And like some merch and a backpack. That's all I got. Like a refugee fleeing his lucha homeland. And I get there an hour before. It was like a 4.5 hour drive. I get there an hour before doors. And I mean, I'm just trying to piece together some kind of outfit, man. Like, it's just terrible, you know? Like, does anybody have anything black or red or something? And I
Wow.
pieced it together, and I got lucky that GCW had a black and red shirt, and I did both shows in the same outfit. Like, what am I going to do? The guy was nice enough to let me use all his stuff the next day, and I just got my bag back yesterday, so it's just so unbelievably annoying this weekend, man. But it turned out to be great somehow. Like, the matches that I
Yeah.
had were phenomenal. You know, it was unbelievable that a swing of negativity turned into positive real quick.
Well,
Yeah, that is a definitive the life of a wrestler right there. Just the craziness of travel to go, perform your art for, 15, 20 minutes a pop, and it's all that travel, and that's the hard stuff. And yeah, man.
oh, that's
Yeah.
wild.
We got through it, man, and I'm just happy that everything went well. I got my bag back, so like all that gear. Like, I wanted to tell you guys this. As I was driving home, I was like, I have to tell these guys. Like, a lot of my stuff that I use personally with my gear, a lot of it is custom and stuff that you can't find anymore. I got these
Sure.
LeBron Soldier 11s that I looked 6 months for that I used for wrestling. And I would have
Wow.
lost those. I would have lost these Oakley glasses that I've had for 15 years that they do not make anymore. Those
Yeah.
were in there. Like, I forgot, like, a lot of this stuff was in there. Like the brand new gear that I was going to use for the Dorada match. Like, just a lot of this stuff is like custom that you'll never be able to see again, and I would have lost it all because Dallas was just being a bunch of idiots. So
have you learned the lesson now that like your gear is always going to be a carry on?
well, okay, now, yes, I've known that. I've been in the business for a long time.
Yeah.
I got to the gate where they let you onto the airplane, and they said, "Hey, we have to check your bag." But when that connector got canceled, there's no baggage claim. Like, your flight is canceled. That bag has to go to your final destination anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
Wow.
then the next connector the next day got canceled. So I'm just like, there's no way out of this. And I waited there for 9 hours. Every time that buzzer would go off, a group of us that lost our bags on that flight would stand straight up and say, "This is gonna be the one." Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be
Wow.
the one. This is the one, and it never was.
That's torture. I mean, that's straight up torture.
So what, they called
Yeah.
me yesterday and said, "Hey, we have it here at O'Hare," but like
So,
drove out.
okay, I made 3 formal requests to make sure that this bag stayed in Dallas, right? And they were like, "It's sent. It's not going to go anywhere." I land in Chicago and get a phone call that says, "Hi, this is American Airlines from Houston. We have your bag here." So it was sent to Houston anyway.
Yeah. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
That's
And then
just
they had to send it from Houston to O'Hare, and I wasn't going to chance it by them like delivering it or not delivering it to my house. I went straight to when the flight landed, went to the baggage claim and claimed it as if I was on that flight last night. That's exactly what happened.
now.
So
Friday night, you said that ended up being a very cold match that you were in. It was the coldest you've been at the beginning of a match. Does that just take you a minute to get warmed up, get rolling? Like, I mean, I'm not going to talk about age too much here, but I know for one thing, I'm not as young as I used to be, and it takes me a while longer to warm up for fucking anything. To take a walk to drop my kids off at school.
There was zero chance of warming anything up in that building, brother. It was okay. The only way I can describe it is we were in Alaska inside a freezer wrestling in a ring.
Wow.
Dude, I can't.
It,
Real.
it was one of the worst. And then, so the roof is leaking over the ring, and then the ring is wet on top of being. So it was almost like we're wrestling on ice. We're Disney on ice, but we're wrestling on ice now.
And man, your style with the flipping, I mean, it's I mean that gets scary, dangerous. Wow.
You're really playing with fire or ice in this situation. If you're gonna, you want to twist or break an ankle, that was the night to do it.
Wow.
I watched the Saturday night show, or I watched your match from that. the GCW show where you and Psycho Clown, like
Yeah.
to me, from what you've been doing lately, this seemed like a very different match for Gringo Loco. I mean, there was a lot of shit on the ground. I saw some strong style stuff happening. You know, you guys did the hitting each other. You know, you had it all. Hell, you went to take off his mask, Loco. And as Al knows, like you don't take off somebody's mask. It was fucking. I don't know. The things that you guys did in that match, I thought was phenomenal. And correct me if I'm wrong. It just seems like a different you right now. What you have going on.
So I approached it differently. That's why. So I know that he's probably, if not the biggest name in Mexico at the moment. I mean, he beat Dr. Wagner Jr. for his mask, which is enormous.
Yeah.
But I cut a decent promo in the beginning saying, look, man, you might be famous over there, great, but you're in my country, in my ring, in my building. Like, I need to show you that you're not just going to come in and be like this famous dude right off the bat. You got to get past me to be able to do that. So I approached it differently. And yeah, I mean, I changed up my style a little bit. We got a little nutty, which is what the people wanted in Dallas. You can tell, you know?
Yeah, it was a violent match, which is cool. I mean, and it wasn't needless violence. It was needed, and it added to it, and really, I mean, just cool stuff.
Dude,
Yeah, I
there was
appreciate
a
that.
moment where I was surprised to see you kick out. It was after the field goal spot. After that, you guys had come back in the ring, and he gave you, I think they called it the air raid slam.
Yep,
And
air raid crash, yeah.
You look dumb. The air raid crash. You look done. Like it was done. And your kick out was phenomenal. And that's when you did that rollover, that famous shot that you can now find. What is it? It's that Gringo Local OG on Twitter, right?
Yes.
And I had it rolling through here too with just the blood coming down the face. I don't know. I as I mentioned Al earlier, I haven't seen you all that much perform and be out there. It seemed like a whole new ball game for me. And you still had the light spot after that. You still went through the damn table off of the damn corner off the turnbuckle.
Yeah, the Spanish fly. Shout out to this Spanish announce team that have invented that. They're my boys. But yeah, I mean, I knew honestly, man, like with him being the name that he is, and like with all the eyes on GCW, I knew how important last Saturday was for me. I don't want to say it was make or break, but it damn sure felt like it. Like if I am able to create a big enough wave from this night, I think we'll be able to, and we'll be off to the races at this point. And I think we got done what we wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking. I mean, like the Torch and legitimate publications. One, they're talking about you. Two, I mean, they're talking about GCW being, I mean, the third biggest company now in the United States, and you being a part of that. I mean, huge, just huge. The growth over the last 2 years has been just tremendous.
I am just happy to be here, man. I started with them here and there at 2018, and I would get, shots here and there. I would maybe get flown out, maybe have to drive 10 hours, but I knew the feeling after every GCW event was the same. Holy fuck, that was awesome. And like that's what wrestling is supposed to feel like, and that's what I want to continue feeling. What do I have to do to get full time? And I think that I've proven myself over the last couple of years to Brett Lauderdale, the owner, that like, you know what, man, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for your fans, and you can count on me 100%. I'm always going to give you everything I got. So I think he saw that, took that into account, and here we are today, man, going one-on-one with Psycho Clown in a semi-main event that everyone is talking about. Like, let's go,
Yeah.
Amazing.
What?
Go ahead, Al.
It's funny, like, because Clark told me he had a friend who was a wrestler. You guys worked together at the Pizza Kitchen, and I've had people have told me, they got a friend who's a wrestler before, and you go to the shows, and you're just like, yeah, okay. I mean, he learned how to wrestle. He went to a wrestling school, but it's very seldom you get blown away. And you are a guy who absolutely has blown me away. Like, you come out there and you got to build. I mean, almost like an offensive guard. You're not a svelte guy. You're a thick dude, and you're like, all right, I can't see this guy flying all over the place. But man, within the first couple minutes of a match, I mean, it's full on, and it's just tremendous to see, and just totally legit. And yeah, it's just great that we get to see you. And Saturday night's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, are you still there with us? Did we just drop him? Yeah, Al, you mentioned
He's
you
back.
mentioned. Oh, there he is. No, you
Um,
mentioned. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, you know what's so funny? Can you guys see me?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can see you.
we're back. We're back.
Oh, I can't see anything. You know what's so funny? When I was gonna go live with you guys at 7:01, I got an important phone call from none other than John Morrison, and we talked for that 5 minutes that was late, and he was just calling me back. Sorry about that.
Well,
Cool.
hey, Gringo, can I ask you, Al? What can you hold that up? What? There you go. He picked
I
that
can't
up for
see
my
anything.
daughter.
Should I refresh this?
No. It's all right. He's holding a Gringo Logo plush that he picked up for my daughters.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, you
Do you
believe
still have
you
those
wouldn't
available?
believe how popular these things are, man.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. There's a couple available. There's new ones being made, so look out for those.
Yeah, they're awesome. What do you call these? Because I mean that was a debate earlier. Uh, what term do you use when referring to this piece of merchandise?
Well, I don't think we want to say plushies because that sounds a little too soft. How about we make up a name
Absolutely.
together as a group right now? Let's
I'm
call
down.
them. I don't know what. What do
Somebody
we
from
think?
Twitch is
Buddies.
suggesting
Yeah,
somebody
yeah, like mini buddies.
the CJ7 on Twitch, who was very excited to see you with us, Gringo. He said Gringo Loco Micro Brawler is what that's his suggestion out
But
there.
that's
All
a
right. I
thing.
mean,
Like,
yeah, the micro brawlers.
Oh
Yeah, it
yeah,
is a
they're a
thing.
different
Yeah.
thing. That is a different thing. Yeah.
Um,
see, the problem is when I held it up, everybody here called
I
it a
called it
doll, and I said that's not appropriate. It's not a doll. Okay, that's when I went
no,
with plushie
no,
because
it's
that was
not
the best
appropriate.
thing
Yeah.
I could think of. But I agree, that's not appropriate either. So it is not a doll. I mean, that's what we're trying to clarify for certain.
No.
Okay, but
Well,
my
let's
daughter
go
likes
with Gringo Loco, buddy.
all right.
Yeah, I dig it.
I'm good with Gringo Loco, buddy. Al alluded to it earlier, but
Yeah.
when you and I met
An amigo buddy. Well, that's
2009,
the same thing.
Oh, there you go.
okay, an
Yeah.
amigo buddy. I like that. When we met back in what 2008, 2009, we were both wearing ties and shirts. I was the takeout counter guy at a California pizza kitchen doing sketch comedy. You were a pro wrestler who in his daytime was delivering for one of the top corporate delivery companies around, and that's when we first made contact back then. And I've got to be honest, like there were a lot of people around like who would come to pick up deliveries and stuff, and they just weren't the greatest of people. And somehow you and we got along well. I don't know what it was. It was always from the beginning. You were
Oh,
very, very awesome dude. Like, yeah.
honestly, man, I remember the rapport right off the bat with you. I knew that you were the leader and like the coolest dude of that restaurant, and we were always, right in front of each other trying to figure out how to make our money. Like it was always just us. I never dealt with anybody else there besides you. So
Yeah.
I remember those days like it was yesterday, Clark, man. It was it was just what we had to do to make ends meet then.
I just took my daughters to a CPK up in Skokie yesterday. I took her up there, and it brought back memories of that location because it is no longer around there on North Avenue. And you're a big part of those. I remember, Al, I was telling you before we started the show tonight that I just remember like talking to you and you being like, yeah, I'm going to be in Mexico for like the next 6 months. And I wouldn't see you. Then you'd pop back up.
Yeah.
Like it was.
So
go ahead.
Let's go back to that. I mean, so you started around, you're flipping on mats. Some wrestler comes in, you tell him you're working at the Papa John's, and next thing you know, you're in Mexico. How do you get to Mexico? How do you book that flight? Like, how do you have the balls? Did you speak Spanish at the time?
Yeah. Oh, not even one word. No.
So I mean, Chris Jericho, similar story.
Yeah, he does have a similar story. But he had like backing and support. I didn't.
Yeah.
He kind of
He
went
had a
down there
rich
knowing
dad.
he was gonna have a place to stay, and yeah, I didn't have any of that. A rich dad, please. I didn't have any of that. I've been working my whole life, man, trying to make ends meet. But So I'm training in that Lucha Libre gym, and then like everybody in Chicago sucked, and I was like, I realized I was kind of good, and I wanted to see where the best wrestlers of this art were, and it was in a place called Mexico City, and I'm like, well, where's that? I want to go see what's going on down there, and so I was performing at Congress Theater, if you guys remember, in Chicago, that used to be open there
Absolutely.
on Milwaukee Avenue,
Saw Chuck Berry
and
pass
they
out
were
there
putting
one
like
night.
two.
What'd you see?
Oh yeah.
Chuck Berry passed out there one night. It was great.
Wow. That's a story.
That's awesome.
That's where you were at.
So I, as a 17 or 18-year-old, I'm performing in front of 2,000 or 3,000 people every month because they're just packing the Congress Theater. And my show used to be, you know, throwing tortillas at a Mexican crowd, which is pretty damn funny. Caught the attention of a guy in CMLL, and he gave me this little phone number on a piece of paper and said, call me when you get down there. And I was like, down where? Like, I don't know where the hell I'm going. He's like, Mexico City. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, like, in my young brain, I said, this is a calling. So I
Yeah.
saved up all my money and I started working out like a madman. And I was like, I'm going to Mexico City. Don't even know where it is. And I'm going to be the best wrestler in Lucha Libre's history, right? So I get down there, and like Mexican numbers have like 15 numbers. I don't know how to dial a dude. So for 3 days, I try to contact this guy whose name is Tarzan Boy, who's a big star, and I can't get a hold of the guy. So I go down to the front desk. I say, hey, can you call this number correctly in English and help me out and try to get, you know, communicate me with this guy, please, directly. So that third day, listen, I didn't leave my hotel room for 3 days, man, because I was
Yeah.
scared. I'm like, I'm going to get robbed. Like, I'm a foreigner, and they're going to rob me and kidnap me.
Sure.
So that third day, he finally answers, and as soon as he hears my voice, he's like, oh, my God, Gringo, I'm going to come get you right now. So I ended up living with him for a couple months while training in Arena Mexico for, it's like the most prestigious arena that there is in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was able to see firsthand the best of the best of the best my first days down there. And they don't let everybody in, you know what I mean? I was just in because Tarzan Boy got me in, but it was a hell of an experience, man. I was like, I'm hooked. I'm in. Like, I want to do this forever. And I look, it's like so many years later, 18 years later, and I'm here still.
Now,
You know?
CMLL, that's an insanely old promotion too, or is that AAA? I'm thinking.
They're both pretty old, but CMLL is definitely the oldest.
Yeah, I mean they're like their main show. They're at like what, number 75 now. I mean it's like blows past WrestleManias.
Okay.
Oh, the anniversaries. Yeah, I think they might even be in the 80s, bro. I'm not sure.
That's insane. Yeah, that's on the bucket list of things I want to go to, but I've always been afraid just to make that trip. Like I did the Tokyo Dome, but that seemed relatively safe. Where Arena Mexico, I'm afraid of, and I got to go in the next. You know, as soon as Corona lets up, that's the goal, is to go to one of those anniversary shows.
Yeah,
brother. Let me tell you, if you went all the way to Tokyo, you have got to make this little 3.5-hour flight down to Mexico City. This atmosphere that they've created in that arena, when it's packed, is great. It's an unbelievable experience. You got to do it.
Well, you've sold me. I'm in. Yeah. I'm just gonna wait till the flight's clear, and I'm good to go. So you learn your craft down there, and then you come back to the United States and start working indie shows, or.
So I lasted as long as my money did. It's really, really hard to make money in Mexico as a wrestler. So I trained as long as I could, and I had to come back because my money ran out. Like, I'm not known. Like, nobody's going to be paying me big dollars to be down there. So yeah, I came back. I started doing AAW back in the day, and I had that on my resume, which Danny Daniels didn't really care about at the time. And I started doing that. I started bringing Lucha Libre a little bit to AAW in Berwyn. And where do we go from there, man? I mean, it's just there's so many like chapters of this career. And a lot of them kind of blur together because I've been hitting the head too many times. But I mean, yeah, I sniffed out like the Lucha promotions in Chicago and kept doing that. And I would go periodically back to, Mexico and try to make things work. I went back, 4, 5, 6 times for months at a time, just trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
So cool.
It's very cool. Back to Saturday night, man. You didn't get the pinfall against Psycho Clown, but it sounds like y'all are going to have another match. And You went over.
Yeah.
Like you definitely went over. Like this is. I'm very excited for.
Yes.
You know, I saw about what you did at Hammerstein, which must have been awesome, just a couple weeks ago, and it seems like
Oh
you're
yeah.
just building right now. Like you're going up. And did I just catch this? You said you're not sure of your schedule, but Friday night, are you going to be on the West Coast, and then you'll be back here Saturday for the Warrior show down at Cisco Stadium?
Yeah, if flights can get me to and from, I have to fly to San Francisco
You're a
and then
little
fly
concerned.
back for Warrior. That's
You're a
right.
little concerned. So we hope to see you. We'll be in
Yeah.
the
Well,
second row.
I'm just concerned because of how my last weekend went. That's why.
Sure. You're a little uh, frightened now that you felt the pain of it.
I would.
You had a match. You had a match that
Yeah.
blew me away. The three-way for the Lucha title. Aramis, you, and Ray Horace. That
Down at
match.
Marion? Was that
Yeah,
over
I
at
mean
Marion Catholic?
that was at Marion Catholic. That's when I really saw your offense, and I was like, holy shit. So yeah, I'm totally excited for this match coming up Saturday.
Honestly, man, that three-way was one of the most favorite matches I've ever had in my career, man. I got so much chemistry with both of those guys individually, and then you threw them both at me in a match. Like, it was so much fun, dude. They do
Yeah,
everything, and I know them like the back of my hand. It was so good, yeah.
you could
What?
tell there was just trust. Like, I mean, everybody was going and they were doing all
Yeah.
their best offense, and it was just such a fun match.
Yes.
That's when I was like, all right, I am a Gringo Loco fan forever now. I mean, that match won me over. Artemis is
Uh,
so good too. Like
hell yeah.
that young dude who just has it, and yeah,
I've
cool
got
stuff.
just a couple.
He's
Oh, go
like
ahead.
the enigma he's like the enigma after Rhea Phoenix. They come around about every 6 to 7 years. Like the new one will come around that he just does unbelievable things and offense in the ring, and he's definitely the one that's after Phoenix, and then the one after Aramis would definitely be the Kingo. I'm sure you've seen his stuff.
I haven't. I gotta check that out.
Oh,
Uh,
dude, you got to look him up, man. He's unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh, that's
nice.
sick.
Something to do now.
I've got a couple more things that I've been thinking about today that I wanted to bring up. One is that it's been quite a few years, but there was there a I don't know was there a heart attack in the ring? Was that after a show out in Ohio?
Oh, yeah.
Do you mind if I bring that? I mean, if you don't
Yeah,
want
you know your stuff.
to,
So no, I don't mind at all. No, I don't mind at all. Yeah. So I
how
was
long ago was
living pretty crazily for a decade with no sleep and 30 years old, never been in the hospital, thought I was Superman, like just really going after it. And yeah, so I did the show in Cleveland, Ohio, and then I had to drive myself all the way back to Chicago, really with no sleep or barely any sleep. And yeah, the heart gave out, man. I went into cardiac arrest at Berwyn Eagles Club, and they were able to bring me back. They got there in 5 minutes miraculously, and they brought me back, bro. So yeah, it was a tough time. It was a realization that I'm actually not Superman, and that anything can happen at any time. So this really is
okay.
my second chance, man. So I'm taking advantage of every single
Thank man,
situation, you know.
thank goodness they got you back there. And I mean, we all have those moments where
Yeah.
Jesus, you got Jerry Lawler. That's
oh,
insane. I didn't know that. Wow. You
oh
know, that means, Clark, there's absolutely
Yeah.
zero hope for you and I. Like,
yeah,
we
absolutely. Like I would
might as well just write the will right now.
Charlie, he told me 2 weeks or last week before the show, we had snow coming the next day. And I told him I'm going to shovel the whole neighborhood the next day. And he said, please don't do that with the heart attack snow. You know what happens to 42-year-old guys with snow. I did
Yeah.
it. And then 2 days later, I saw
Yeah.
an article pop up that said, be careful shoveling that snow, you old dumb out of shape son of a bitch. So I'm going to get a snowblower, or
Right, right.
I'm going to try to get into some shape
You
myself.
have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's either a couple $100 or heart attack potentially. You got to be careful.
Right. Well, I want to
Man, that is
extend this
crazy.
as long as we can. I'm certainly enjoying the ups and downs of this ride of life that we have going on. Al and I were talking about it
Right.
just the other day that there's a show. What can you tell us about the show coming up with GCW that is hell? It's built around you. The world of lucha. Is that what it's going to be? Is there anything you can tell us?
Yeah. So Gringo Loco presents the world on Lucha. So it's just going to be like a Lucha Libre jam packed with the most pure talent of the art of Lucha Libre. And we're just hoping to tear the house down, man, and show the world really the talent that exists out there that's willing to work with me, which is a lot of the good talent. So it's we have like a Lucha corner on every GCW show, at least for a little bit, but I wanted an entire show dedicated to it. And Brett, being the visionary that he is, sees that everybody is liking this hot streak that Lucha Libre is on. So he's like, I'm going to give you your own show during WrestleMania weekend. And I said, oh, I'm all about it, man. Let's go.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize the timing of that was WrestleMania weekend. That's
Oh,
huge,
shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. It's exciting, man.
We still got a little bit of time before that. That's awesome. The build for that's going to be great. I can't wait to watch it. I wish I was the kind of guy who could just hop on a plane and come follow you down and go see it there. That show is in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the city that gave me the most problems last weekend in Dallas.
Maybe try to get down there a week before just in case. I don't know. Jeez.
There's an old joke. There's an old joke by the guy who's like the king of Texas, Kinky Friedman, and he's like, you don't go to heaven unless you've been delayed at Dallas Fort Worth. So I think you've won. You got your wings.
I absolutely did, and I probably got a couple pairs of them because it was just such a nightmare, man. You have no idea,
dude. I can't even imagine. Well, brother, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Al, you got anything last thing?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. Is there anything you want us to be chanting on Saturday? Because we can take over the crowd. We are the kings of the crowd.
I mean, the people are pretty much in the know. Like when I look at you guys before that bell rings, it's just a Gringo Loco 5 clap. They know. They know what's up.
Okay. All right.
The deity
Clark, am I
amongst
going to
the
see you there
dives.
this weekend?
You are 100% going to see me there. We're going to be there in the second row. If for some reason your flight doesn't get back, we could just start chanting
nice.
"fuck the airline" or something if you're not there due to the flight. But no, I'll be there. I'm very excited. It's going to be.
I got to tell you,
time that I've been to one of your matches, man.
Okay, man. It's a long time coming, so that means I got to really perform now. So no pressure, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. All right, Gringo Loco, thanks so much. Dude, congratulations on this run that you're in the middle of. That I can't wait to see where it goes, man.
And one more time, if people want to follow you, they can get you on Twitter. Or is that the best spot?
Yeah, probably Twitter, Gringo Loco OG, and then I'm pretty heavy on Instagram with clips and stuff. It's I am Base God with underscores in between each word. So I am Base God. So BASE. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for so much for having me on, man. It was a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you, buddy.
Take it easy. We'll see you on Saturday. Later.
Okay.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm so glad to finally connect with him for this show. That's awesome. I don't know why I asked years ago. Like,
yeah, you should have, but before all the hype, Clark. You got to get on things early.
Hey, he's still in the green room. Like, that's not why I brought you on, Gringo. I promise. I promise.
His 4-way match, I'm telling you, is going to steal the show on a card that's absolutely jam-packed.
Awesome.
Like every person in that match is insanely talented, and that match is going to kill it. Gringo really. I mean, they need to get that Warrior Lucha title on him for Warrior. That's what I'm fighting for. God bless Sam Adonis. He's a nice fella, horrible haircut. But the guy, he doesn't. Yeah, I know he spent a lot of time in Mexico as well, but he just doesn't scream lucha to me. And I think the fans really want to see Gringo Loco. And I'd love to see him in a singles match for the Warrior lucha title. And you know what? I'll book it now. Have Lince Dorado, a former WWE star, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure is the dude who took the most insane bump I ever seen off the top of a Hell in a Cell. That because lucha gets no respect in the WWE, it was panned over. But the dude is crazy, and he's a fantastic wrestler. He's been doing it on a high level for a long time. So Lince Dorado is going against Sam Adonis for the Warrior lucha title this Saturday, and I'd like to see Lince win the title, come back, and go one-on-one with Gringo. I'm hoping Gringo wins the 4-way match.
Me too.
But we'll see. I feel like they got a lot invested in Reed right now. But yeah, I mean, it's Santana is going to be on the show from Santana and Ortiz.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's going to be going up against Speedball Mike Bailey, who's also on fire right now. And Warhorse versus Dalton Castle. We once were in a dark basement with Dalton Castle, and it was a little creepy. But it's going to be nice to see him again going up against the Warhorse. Two great characters, two great entertainers who are really going to get the crowd going. That match is going to be a lot of fun. And then the Briscoe brothers versus the Workhorsemen is a match. The Briscoe brothers have been insane for many years, many decades. I've been frightened of them since I've been a small child. Now they're old dudes with they got some gray and white in the beard, and they're still good old country boys. And that match is going to be a banger. That's going to be a physical match.
We shared their promo on our page. You brought my attention to it. I'm ready. Like the Briscoes had a hell of a promo for that.
And then fresh out of the WWE, of course, you get Athena, the former Ember Moon, who I saw at some NXT pay-per-views, going up for the Warrior Women's title. Probably going to be the main event of the show against Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, I mean, there's not a more over person on the indie scene right now than her. She just dominates a crowd in ways I haven't seen in a long, long time. So that's going to be a really cool deal. Yeah, I mean, Warrior Wrestling's got their shit together. It really is a fantastic indie show.
I've enjoyed a lot of what she's done, Thunder Rosa. So I'm more than excited for this. This is going to be damn amazing. And of course, Warrior Wrestling, they run their shows monthly. They'll be on again March 12th, March 23rd. Well, this is upcoming this Saturday in Cicero, their first time at the Cicero Stadium.
Cicero. Last time we were there, you were almost. I think Pentagon Jr. was doing a dive outside of the ring and almost crashed into us. Well, did kind of crash into us in the front row. And you were very protective of your wife, shielding her as they were yelling at us in Spanish to move out of the way, but we didn't understand. No comprende. And, almost a disaster because we didn't know at the time. Well, you knew at the time. I didn't know at the time. Pentagon Jr. didn't know at the time that your wife was pregnant. That Hazel.
La Parca, he didn't know. He was there. He didn't know. But yeah, Hazel, that was Hazel's first wrestling show that she's ever been to.
It was
Cicero Stadium.
Her first show was a Lucha show.
Yeah.
AAA show.
Yeah. You hadn't heard the heart attack thing, huh?
No, that's insane. That's
huge. That's huge. I almost didn't bring it up, but he told me anything goes earlier on the show. So
yeah, I mean that's a young dude with the heart. I mean that's scary.
Yeah,
I mean we're walking on borrowed time, my friend.
Dude, we absolutely are. Yeah, I'm glad to finally get back to a show. This Saturday is going to be a damn fine time.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be good. And I hope some of the people listening, if they got nothing going on Saturday, they want to take a break from making deviled eggs for the Super Bowl party. Come on out. I'm pretty sure tickets are still available, and they're cheap. A couple years, kids get in free, so in a couple years we'll be able to take your girls. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know when I can take them next year.
Maybe. I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, I know I ruined one of my friends' kids' wrestling futures because I took him to a Ring of Honor show that was actually really good. It had the great what's the welfare queen's name from the
from Glow.
Yeah.
Yep. Chan.
Anyways, who I'm talking about, legend. She was on the card. I mean, it was a great show. I think maybe even Seth Rollins was there.
Sure.
And I think it was Cesaro. Before those guys were in Ring of Honor.
They were in WWE when they were with Ring of Honor.
When they're cool names. And Tyler Black and I don't remember Cesaro. Something almost Italian sounding. Anyways, Yeah. So the kid went, and the kid was into wrestling, but he was like, "Where's John Cena?"
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you can't see him. And he was bored, a half an hour into the show, and never watched wrestling again. So you got to be careful.
Didn't it start to get a little bloody too that you weren't expecting, or it went a little more hardcore than you thought it would, or I don't
Well,
know.
it was Ring of Honor. It may have that wasn't a concern. That might have actually got his interest up.
I see Ring of Honor is still inducting people into their Hall of Fame. They have a hope to come back at some point.
I think they actually have a show booked already. Like
Oh, do
there's
they?
a return date.
Okay.
I don't know what the roster is going to be.
Right.
I mean, the Briscoe brothers have been in Ring of Honor since the dawn of time. Like
Right.
those guys have
Right.
been just synonymous with that company.
It
And
certainly seems like they're setting up something for them with the with Dax,
yeah,
with the FTR, right? Like I
maybe
don't
go
know.
over and do that in AEW. That would be really cool. Those guys never left Ring of Honor because they just didn't fit into WWE.
Correct. Yeah.
And for so long, WWE was the only place to make money, outside of Ring of Honor or Japan. Um, and as Gringo Loco said, like you don't realize, like when you're getting started, even when you're a name, like money's not always great. Like it's hard. It's a hard life. It's a hard uh, career choice. There is the tease of the big money. I mean, it's like radio or improv. I mean, we would do improv shows. We would break even.
Right. Right.
No one was getting paid for doing those shows.
Right.
We were selling tickets, but we were breaking even, and it was great and fun.
I totally see what Gringo means about in Mexico. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
To the point where it's just like, shit, I got to go back right now. But man, that experience. You mentioned being in Japan, not knowing the language and how concerning. And imagine his spot. Like he's
right.
Like he's there to do a new career, to work, and he can't get a hold of the guy. That's
You do learn fast. I know. I saw an interview with Gringo Loco in Spanish, so he definitely has picked up the language and now speaks it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, he has. But man, it does take you a minute, man. The dude brings up a point over there. He said some dudes get good paydays, but once you pay for travel and lodging,
right.
You're usually red unless you're a legit draw.
Then independent contractor, unless you're dealing to get paid your travel paid for and all your expenses.
Right.
And there's only so much money. Like I wonder how much Warrior pays out, because Warrior brings in really good talent.
Sure.
Like I mean, they are jam packed with people you see on television.
Well, I mean, they're champion right now. I mean, they're always.
As you just said, their world champion is Will Ospreay, who's arguably the best wrestler in the world. Who just he main evented the Tokyo Dome against Kazuchika Okada, for the IWGP Heavyweight title. I mean, that's a big deal. Like, if you're not a wrestling fan, you don't know that. But if you are a wrestling fan, you know what a big damn deal that is. And he's the Warrior champion. So I've always wondered the finances, and the ticket prices have been going up. And but Warrior does a nice job of doing, like, you could pay for what's comfortable. Like, you could get into a gymnasium, which is basically where they fight, and for $30 you could sit in the stands. Sure. And if your kid's under like 12, the kids are free. So for $30 and you got 3 kids, you and the wife can go there for $60 and enjoy a night out of wrestling, which is really good. But if you want to pay for the front row, it's like $100 a ticket, and then I think the next 3 rows are like 50. So, like, there's good separation of price point where they are making their money for the people who want to spend their money, and they are also being good, citizens in the wrestling community by allowing it to be a family-friendly place where kids can get in.
Yeah, the dude knows Warrior Wrestling pretty well. He's saying on Twitch, he's saying that they'll even hook people up with sponsored housing too if they need it when they're in town.
Cool.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's great. That's the promotion that I want to support. That's the local,
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're really good shows. I mean, just as a fan, they've really re-sparked my interest in local wrestling and independent wrestling more so. Supporting a local place. I mean, because there's good wrestling in Chicago, and if you notice, like, there's a lot of like shows that do kind of group up. Like, the week of Warrior Wrestling, there may be 2 other shows in the city of the different promotions who also run out of here.
Yeah.
So, maybe the companies are kind of split in travel. I mean, I don't know. I don't know details or anything, but it seems to make sense. I've always wanted to book a wrestling show. I don't think it's really possible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Frank the Clown is my social circle. Oh, Frank.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I love how hated Frank the Clown is.
He's-
I appreciate what he does.
He gets a lot of great heat. Like he gets solid
Yeah.
heat. That's amazing.
My big beef with Warrior is like there's 0 storylines. Basically, there's no one gets any mic time except Frank the Clown. Frank the Clown is their only story, and I enjoy it. I just wish there were more things going on.
Sure. I'm excited to get to that show. Those of you folks that may be watching us on Twitch for the first time, or if you're not on Twitch tonight, head over there. Try to hit that follow button. That'd be pretty awesome.
Who is the dude? Do we know who the dude is?
Yeah, the dude was on the show. Adam was on the show a couple weeks back.
Oh, right. Okay.
You and him have like correlate. You guys are.
That's right.
We're the same in different universes. Like
we're Northwest Side suburban river boys.
Yeah,
I know exactly who he is.
You're in one version of life. He's in the other. You're parallel universes. It's amazing. Yeah. Your spirit animal.
It is my spirit animal. Totally.
Absolutely. Oh man. So I'll see you Sunday anytime after 4. We'll be good.
Well, I'll see you Saturday for wrestling, and then Sunday I'll probably I have plans elsewhere. So
okay. You can tell me after probably your plans elsewhere.
No. I don't boast about what my dealings are.
I appreciate that you're like giving me no hope that you're coming. Like another friend of ours who used to be in our comedy group, I won't name him, but he's kind of like he's giving me the maybe, like it with kind of leading on that it still might happen.
Yeah. Huh.
Well,
I mean, I would probably not count on that.
You're leaning more towards no. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a no. Like I'm a no.
Can I come to the party with you?
Maybe it may have another member of Comedy Accident who isn't who might be a maybe, but we'll see.
That's interesting. Because I do know that there are plans in that household, but I also know that like there were also plans of maybe getting away. I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe there's a pop in. Maybe there's a pop in your party.
Maybe there is a pop in.
Maybe I'll pop in. And Clark, are you going to have Frito-Lays?
Another member of comedy. Sure, I'll have Frito-Lays. Maybe
will you have multiple bags of Frito-Lays to pour into a bowl, and then I could douse with some of your chili mac on top of?
Yes. Wait, I'm not doing chili mac. I'm doing mac and cheese.
Oh, I'm out.
A Texas mac and cheese.
No.
Yes.
No.
And then the other guy's making skyline chili. And then I'm gonna probably do wings. I just got a new thing for the air fryer with skewers on it. I can do about 12 wings at a time instead of the 6 that I usually can do. I'm getting very excited here.
I'm telling you, your spread is too shitty. Like it is not selling.
Our spread is coming together as we speak. I'm sending out another email either tomorrow or maybe it won't come out until Thursday. For God forbid.
2 days before the event, 3 days before the Super Bowl,
before the event, 3 days before.
I don't know if you sell squares, maybe I'll buy some squares. But
we are selling squares. There's going to be prop bets. We've got it all. We're going to watch the halftime show. I'm going to try to get a hold of a new subwoofer so the halftime show sounds great. Come on,
halftime show.
The halftime show.
No.
Are you shitting me? You're not excited about the halftime show?
I get it. You got the kids and the women there. That's fine. But yeah, come on, Clark. Hey, let's not use this as a selling point.
Am I not allowed to bring up the commercials? What? You can't bring up commercials?
Well, you're muting the commercials so we can discuss the game and the intricacies of the strategy. We're gonna know. Who cares? It's commercials. Why should I jerk off over fucking commercials? Come on, man.
Shit about the football.
Stop buying into the corporate hype, okay, man? You're better
buying into Joe Buckets or whatever they call him. Joe Burr.
Who's Joe Buckets?
Joe Burrows. Joe
Burrow?
Yeah.
Quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, I enjoy Joe Burrow.
Your Super Bowl MVP, Joe Burrow.
That would be great. I would love a Joe Burrow Super Bowl MVP. But yeah, look, Skyline chili is shit. Okay,
Yeah,
mac and cheese is one of the most overrated thing
I'm
people
not a
get
fan.
excited about.
I'm thinking about making mac and cheese and a chili, and then he can bring the chili mac still. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a guy who was really big on like pushing for the Skyline chili. I'm like, fine, bring it, whatever.
Scarlett Johansson is doing an Amazon commercial.
Yes.
See, this is why I'm not coming. You have people in your inner circle influencing the spread, and when I have zero say, I'm
You
not.
do have a say.
I have no say in what could have been done. So
What do
I'm
you
out.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know who Scarlett Johansson is either. I know what
do
Amazon
too.
is.
She's an actress. She's in movies. She's married to that guy from Saturday Night Live.
I would love to talk. Who the weird guy with the irritable bowel syndrome?
No, Colin Jost, the host of
no.
Weekend Update.
He's not the
Right? That's
irritable bowel.
Johansson, right? Yeah. Wilson says he backed me up on that. Come on, pal. Come on, pal.
Yeah, I would love to talk Squid Games with you, but you can't invest, an hour and a half into a movie. So, we still no discussion.
We did finish the first season of Ozark the other night.
What does this have to do with
how far in are you on Ozark?
I'm not doing Ozark. I watched your stupid Squid Games.
We just
and you were supposed to watch. You were supposed to watch
seasons out there of Ozark.
You were supposed to watch a movie.
I'm going to watch Parasite. I'm just
Parasite. You should watch Parasite.
I've been working. I've been shoveling.
Yeah,
I've been
working on getting Ozark watched.
To not have a heart attack because the wife watches Ozark with me. At that point, the eyes are so tired we can't read anymore.
Oh, the eyes are tired.
What is I can't watch Parasite.
Eyes are tired.
You
some
Ozark where they do all the work for you. I don't even have to do the work. They you
and the wife managed to watch Squid Games. Your eyes weren't tired for Squid Games.
Well, Wilson, there's your Wilson.
Yeah,
that's
Wilson,
the problem, Wilson. Yeah, and you don't do it when you're tired. You got to read it. You got to watch it. You got to watch it with he couldn't stand the voice acting and he watches anime, which I get it. I did the first 2 episodes of that show with the sub or with the dubbing, the voiceover, and it's not good. You got to do it with the original language with the subtitles. You agree on that?
Yeah, I agree on that. And
is that how I need to do Parasite as well?
Yeah, you have to. I don't even know that there's an option to listen to it. Okay. I've been studying my Japanese. I've been using that Drops app. It's called Drops. But I realize all I'm doing is learning vocabulary words. So I'm like learning words. Like if you put a flashcard for snow in front of me, it give me 3 options. I can tell you what snow is. But I'm not retaining it because I'm not using shit in sentences. Okay. So I found another app that hopefully will start giving me a little more structure with my Japanese. Because the vocabulary has been going fine. I got my numbers down. I'm fairly confident in my numbers.
I have a question for you. I'll let you answer this first, and then maybe if there's any parents there in the chat, what's my best, cheapest route for my girls to become fluent in Spanish? Like at daycare, they've learned Spanish. They can count in Spanish. They know a few words. They can answer. They can answer some things.
I would guess
Spanish, but I want them. Like I'd love for them to be more fluent because I'm not, obviously.
If you want them fluent, which is a very definitive word.
Hang out with Gringo Loco a little more.
Hang out with Gringo Loco, but I would sell your kids to a family in Mexico, and move them down there, and then I think that's your best bet.
Just send them down to a hotel like Gringo did, right? There you go.
You should have them learn another language though, because if you learn another language, you learn the ability to speak other languages and how languages work, and then you can easily learn Spanish. Like I probably have like a third, like a 2-year-old's vocabulary in Spanish.
Okay.
Just by living in Chicago.
I've got a few words from restaurant, like working.
I can do Trace. No.
You can.
How old are you? I can tell you.
Let me say 3.
Let me tell you your age.
5.
What's your age?
They're 3 and 4 and almost 5. Do you want to teach?
Yes. No, I want to say your age in Spanish. How old are you, Clark?
Oh, I'm 40.
I'm sorry. In Japanese. Oh, I'm not going to. Oh, wait, 42. Oh shit. 4 is the one I have the most problems with.
Uh-oh.
Knee is 2. So knee.
Okay.
So
I'm something knee.
wait. Ishii.
Horny.
Panza.
Horny.
I got 5. 5 is go.
Morning. Go.
Yeah. 6 is Roku.
So
7 is
Khalil Mack
Nana.
is Khalil
8
Mack
is
is go
Hachi.
knee. Khalil Mack
Huh?
is go knee.
What? Yeah. Go knee.
Go knee. Go knee.
Go knee. 52. Go knee. Go knee.
Knee. All right. Go knee with the sack. There you
I
go.
got it. In fact, I can't remember fours.
At school, they have a preschool class that's Spanish and a preschool class that's English, and I almost wanted them to have my kid go into the Spanish class. I thought that'd make more sense.
Clark, with your inability to grasp the attention on things, I think your kids' the best hope would be to let them learn the English, please.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, those poor kids have my Spanish,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. All right, brother. What are you looking for? Are you going to find me some classes? Is that what you're doing? Or you're figuring out what 4 is in Japanese?
Yeah, 4 is yon. 4 is yon. So yoni.
Yoni.
You're yoni.
Yoni. You're Yoni.
You're yoni.
You're Yoni. You're a little less Yoni than I am.
And then Jew is 10.
How do you say it?
Jew.
I like that you're putting the work in. Like you're studying this. Like it's not just like it, and it's got to be harder than hell. It has to be absolutely harder than hell.
It really isn't. Like their language isn't that crazy.
Okay. All right.
But again, it's just vocabulary words.
It's new. Add source. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll see you Saturday. We'll go see some wrestling. I'm going to cook up some meatballs now.
That's good.
And actually, I got some creative writing. I won my first matchup. Oh, I forgot to ask him about fantasy wrestling. Son of a bitch.
Oh shit. There it is.
I got my first. I won my first match in the fantasy wrestling tournament. My big return.
Oh, you did win?
Yeah. I don't know how I won. I got lucky. So now I'm on to match 2, and it's an old veteran. It's a guy I've wrestled in the fantasy wrestling world in the past. With different characters. Like 10 years ago, he's the same character. His character is 50, and his character's birthday is the same day the match is taking place. His 50th birthday. So my guy's gonna have to chop him down.
Hey, I need to say thank you for picking up where I dropped off for a bit earlier. I appreciate it. I know I left you hanging a bit. I was working some things out on my end, and we got it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got it done. So thank you.
So my guy's gonna have to chop. Whoa.
We're rolling around there. All right, brother.
All right, yep.
You could make those meatball sandwiches when you come for the Super Bowl party.
Well, I bought Joseph's Finest Meats meatballs and sauce, so if I go to a Super Bowl party, I'm going to bring those instead of making my home.
Put some Joseph's Finest Meats breakfast sausage in my Texas queso mac and cheese.
Wow, that's good. All right, that's
spicy.
It's mac and cheese though.
It's going to be spicy.
Overrated, dude.
And then we're going to
have
some nice meatball sandwiches there made by Larger Than Life.
Some
chili.
Don't lie to the people.
I have some of the best cooks around that live on this block. You're going to be surprised. What I'm going to do is take pictures of them, send them to you, and you're going to be like, are you shitting me?
Basically, you're inviting me to your block party Super Bowl. Like,
adios, amigos.
Yes, I am. Absolutely. It is what it is. All right, brother. See you Saturday for the show. We'll figure out how we're getting down there, huh? We'll probably just drive down Cicero.
I got the Irish poet is coming as well. So we had a little Dave Matthews, and it's gonna be a good time.
David Matthews will join. I forgot. That's right. All right. Awesome. Yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl, y'all who are watching. Have a good weekend with that. May your bets be plentiful. May your squares hit.
That was very kind.
You're welcome, Clark. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Much thanks to Gringo Loco for joining us.
I love dude. We're gonna have to have him back on again some other time, and really dig more into his career and see if he's ever played fantasy wrestling. I think that's an important question.
That would be interesting. What do you think? Do you think he's going to tell you no, dumbass?
Yeah,
Why would I do that?
I don't even know if he knows what it is. That'd be my guess.
He's got emotional problems, man.
You mean beyond desperate?
He's fragile. He's very fragile.
I did not know that.
Not Gringo Loco. That was me.
You'll get your chance, smart guy.
There's two ways you can go on this job. My way or the highway.
90
Is everything
seconds.
in balance?
Win the World Series.
I wish you good luck, but you wouldn't know what to do with it if you got it. My advice to you.
I appreciate it, Al. Thank you.
Thank you
That
for
was
using
very kind.
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.